There's no better place to start the penultimate round of the Hyundai Heavy Industries British F1 Sidecar Championship than here at Silverstone, this iconic circuit, very famous track. And the championship could not be closer. With just one round to go at Brands Hatch following this, the gap is 82.5 points. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood lead Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, but there are double points at Brands up for grabs. It's a full grid here at Silverstone, but really it's Stevens' title to lose. Let's have a look at the table. Well, there it is, 305 points. Look at Andy Peach. He's a bit adrift. He's got to ride hard this weekend. Steve Kershaw, Rob Wilson, sadly, badly injured at Knock Hill, so they will not improve on that. Best wishes to them. Lovelock then, there, and Tony Brown, they can really close up. Further down the order, look at that raft of Suzuki's, headed by Martin Kirk and Ben Hughes. Archer and Thomas going well too. Our TV partner for this round at Silverstone is Irizar Coaches. Irizar, not a name you necessarily know unless you're in the coach industry, but with me is Ian Hall, who's Joint Managing Director. Ian, what is it about coach, bus and truck people that makes them petrol heads? You're a bike fan, and that's why you're here. What is it?
It's the engineering. It's the constant involvement in engineering. If you're in that sort of environment, then you usually got some sort of background that's promoted that, whether it be motorbikes, whether it be cars, whether it be trucks. I'm here with a number of colleagues within the business and a number of my friends. All of us have got backgrounds on motorbikes, cars, engineering, and it's just that background. It's if there's a dirty bit that goes whiz bang, we want to know about it, really.
If you look at one of these sidecar outfits with their skin off, the engineering quality in that, have you had a good study?
Yes, I have. I've had a look at the engineering. Have a look at the engineering here with the body off the vehicles. The attention to detail and the finish is absolutely amazing. You still wouldn't get me on one. I mean, they're frightening the living daylights out of me just looking at them. But yeah, the quality of work that goes into them, the engineering, the thought that goes into them to get everything in such a confined space is, well, it's truly amazing, really.
Well, brilliant. Enjoy the rest of the day. You've got a number of guests here. Have some lunch with us, and hopefully we'll see you again in the future.
That's great. Thank you very much indeed, Barry.
Well, is this something for the future? Ben and Tom Birchall here on a 600cc Honda-powered LCR. 17 times TT winner Dave Molyneux with Dan Sale on another 600, and so good to see Sean Hegarty and James Neve back in business and in this championship. But Andy Peach from pole position knew exactly what he had to do. That was to get out in front and stay out in front. But alongside him on the Remsey Racing Yamaha, Tim Reeves duffed up Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood pretty quickly into the first turn and set about catching Peach out in front. The Yamaha not nearly as quick as Peach's Kawasaki, but Reeves making up for it on track craft and corner speed. That left Stevens and Charwood still in third, but fighting well. Reeves, meanwhile, then, out in front and seemingly with an invincible lead. That, however, was not to last that long, any more so than Sean Hegarty and James Neve, who went for an early bath there in race one. Stevens, though, quickly set about the race leader, and you could see by Reeves' body language and a shake of the head just how frustrated he was when the AOSB Weiser Kawasaki flew by. A huge insect deposited itself on Reeves' camera. That was not, however, the cause of his retirement, but it was game over for Tim Reeves, leaving the field clear for the Stevens and Charwood duo. But an incident to Ben Bygrave and Justin Sharp brought out the red flag. At the restart, Peach once again got a second bite of the cherry, and push he did. Ahead of a somewhat depleted field, quite a few non-starters here. Ben and Tom Birchall mid-pack though on the Mitchells of Mansfield Honda 600 were flying. Molyneux less so. Out of it went John Cable and young Harry Payne, first time in the chair for him. And at the front though, Ricky Stevens got the better of Andy Peach, and it was a real tussle between those two outfits as to which one would get the verdict. Swapping paint, Peach went ahead again with Charlie Richardson doing his job, and Stevens though with a superior bike in terms of speed that was demonstrably visible on the straight as he rocketed past. After that final move, it was game over for Peach, but further down the order, Molyneux and Sale pushing their little 600 Suzuki with the engine sitting in front of the driver. That's the difference between the F2s and the F1s. He had a good ride. By Lovelock went Ben Holland and Lee Watson, moving the Finning Cat Kawasaki further up the order, and they're pushing hard at this point in the race in third place. Tony Brown and Lee Kane, the Manxman, kept Holland and Watson at bay. It was a retirement again for Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto on the BB Bike Shop BMW. Frustration for the Wiltshire man because he stands every chance of going third in the championship. No doubting the victory then, almost putting the championship out of sight. Is it done and dusted then for Stevens and Charwood? Brown and Kane got third with Holland and Watson fourth. But race leaders marching on again. Stevens and Charwood ahead of Peach and Richardson, Brown and Kane, Holland, John Holden and Stuart Ramsey fifth. Strong ride. What an amazing effort from the Birchall boys on a 600 in sixth ahead of Horsepole, Archer, Gray and Drown. Martin Kirk and Ben Hughes and Molyneux in the points there on that little short TT winning outfit. Brilliant from the Maxman. Late in the day here at Silverstone for race 2. Welcome to the grid. They're forming up. Sun could be a problem. Andy Peach knows what he's got to do. He's got to win this race because Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood could put it out of reach going into Brands Hatch. That does not take into account all the other guys down there who can spoil the party. It's a 10-lapper in the sunshine, late afternoon. The track temperature is okay. It's going to be a cracking race again to wind up proceedings here at Silverstone. Conditions here could not be better. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic race. What a good third place. Lee Kane there smiling for us. Tony Brown's passenger. Oh dear, Ben Holland, Lee Watson breaking down on the warm-up lap, being pushed into, well, their race clearly is over unless they can get it going and start from pit lane. Red flag then, everybody forming up on the grid. The lap record here, 2:11.7. Tim Reeves holds that, and nobody yet has got anywhere near it. Can Reeves then, and he's right back at the end of the grid because the Remse Yamaha racing man retired in race 1, but off the line, Tony Brown colliding, and he's locked together with Andy Peach. There's massive contact there. They are stuck. What has gone on there? That's wheel arch. That's Peach's wheel arch lying in the tarmac there, so Andy Peach's race will be over because he will be black flagged. Look at John Holden and Stuart Ramsey in second, Gary Horsepole in third. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood were really the big winners there. They escaped the action. Martin Kirk and Ben Hughes, they've got spoke as well, so somehow they got mixed up. Let's have a look. Tony Brown turned in, Andy Peach and he got locked together. Maybe they should have just turned in opposite directions and separated. By that time, it is absolutely too late. A flying wheel arch collected. Ian, oh goodness me! That was unbelievably scary. Dave Molyneux and Dan Sale. How did they get through there? How did they get through there? Martin Kirk and Ben Hughes retiring then. They've got bodywork damage rubbing on the tyre. Oh, drama, and we're only on lap 1. Hasn't even started yet. Stevens and Charwood out in first. John Holden, Stuart Ramsey. Hegarty going well this time. Sean Hegarty, James Neve. Up to all, through goes Reeves, coming from the back of the grid. Tim Reeves and Greg Clues rocketing past Gary Horsepole. They're the Birchall boys on that 600. They did a 2:16 lap in race 1. Phenomenal stuff from the Mitchells and Mansfield boys. We've got world-class riders in this. One of them is charging through. There he is, 77. Tim Reeves, multiple world champion. Greg Clues, a Frenchman. Gary Horsepole, the black outfit. L&W Contractors. Ian Guy. And Dan Evanson. Right behind them, the 600cc outfit of the Birchall boys. That looks so slick. It corners well, but of course it will be giving away 400cc's and massive horsepower. Right behind them, though, it's Tony Brown and Lee Kane, who were mixed up in that start line punch-up, making ground on the Paymundo.com Kawasaki. Race leaders then, Stevens and Charwood, Assured Office Solutions, Be Wiser. If they win this, the title is theirs. There's absolutely nothing Andy Peach can do about it because he's been sidelined and he's sitting watching from the pit lane. Lovelock and Alto broke down in race 1, but they're making a fist of it this time and looking very good. Here's a man in need of sponsorship. He works really hard at his racing, underfunded, the part-time fireman, used to climbing up and down ladders, in and out of buildings, getting people out of smashed up cars, but by golly, Roger Lovelock can ride an F1 racing sidecar outfit from Marlborough in Wiltshire. His Finnish passenger, Aki Aalto, who commutes, and through goes Reeves and Clues. So that cross-plane Yamaha, which we're going to see Tim Reeves on that. Oh, hang on, Peach in pit lane. That's Rod Robinson's wheel arch, so he's losing a huge amount of time here. But somebody has lent him a wheel arch. Rod Robinson and Helen Dealey have sacrificed their spare one. That's Rod Robinson himself fitting the wheel arch on. Andy Peach is going to be giving away the best part of a lap here. Birchall's then go past Gary Horsepole and Jimmy Coddle. Ben and Tom Birchall with their rain light shining vividly. Let's have a look, see how that 600 performs ahead of Horsepole. Second, third place, Hegarty and Neve. In the runner-up spot, though, it's John Holden, who's really got his head around this F1 outfit. Now a full-time racer, put in some World Championship appearances this year, John Holden. Stuart Ramsey, the man on the back of Holden, Janusz Remsey's partner, he's used to riding in this outfit, the green outfit, that Reeves and Clues are on currently. And this could be a permanent pairing because they ride very, very well together. The Reeves outfit prepared in Derbyshire by former world champion Steve Abbott, who's here this weekend. Let's see how Reeves compares then with Sean Hegarty. They are arch rivals, they race well together, huge amount of mutual respect. Hegarty leading Reeves, Reeves closing down on him. You can hear the bellowing exhaust of that Yamaha, which has a different firing order. And that's what he's going to be campaigning next year, possibly in a two-bike team. Holden, 99. Stuart Ramsey. Sean Hegarty, 33. James Neve. Tim Reeves, 77. Greg Clues. Beautiful colours, very pretty, but not as quick as the Suzuki and the Kawasaki header. Well, brace of Suzuki's actually. 99 is Tim Reeves' old bike that Holden is riding. So that's a well put together machine and very quick. It'll be interesting to see now then if the former world champion can find a way past Sean Hegarty, who does have superior speed, superior power. As they come on to the old back straight, they'll be heading down then towards the right-hander of Abbey, then throwing it through. Here they are at the swoop, and then they have to come down to a very tight left-hander where the passengers really earn their corn. They're at it now, at the loop, round they go. Second gear here, driving round this incredibly tight bend. Round and round it goes. Then, oh, hand in the air from Reeves and Clues, another retirement. It's fair to say they are still sorting this Yamaha, but when he gets it going, watch out. Reeves and Clues then on the grass and out of race 2. Welcome back to Silverstone, and we're seeing a display of what it takes to win a championship here with Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood some 5 seconds clear of the chasing bunch. John Holder's in second place. Further down the order, Ian Drown and Jed Pillmore-Brady having a good scrap with Matt McLaurin and A.D. Hope. And behind them, the 600cc outfit of Dave Molyneux and Dan Sale, who so narrowly escaped a massive impact when they dive between all the debris, and they're doing a bit of diving now. He's used to riding across the curbs and around the corners. Don't forget, this man has won 17 Isle of Man TTs, and it is so good to see him here. Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, though, rejoin the race a lap adrift with Rod Robinson's wheel arch, hence the number 10 on the wheel arch. Disregard that, it's number 4. Second place battle, John Holden, Stuart Ramsey then ahead of Sean Hegarty and James Neve. Always give a good account of themselves, the pair from Felixstowe. Good to see Hegarty back, as I've said earlier, and let's hope he will contest a full 2016 season, which promises to be a bumper year because there's so much happening on the world stage, so much happening on the British stage. We're going to see 600s mixed up with thousands, certainly at world level, and probably here in Britain as well. Second place then for John Holden. This will be a personal and career best if he can pull this off. He's just got better and better and better, has Holden, and doing a good job here holding off Sean Hegarty. That is no mean feat, I can tell you. Further back down the order then, the only BMW in the race, Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto, under some pressure from a charging Tony Brown and Lee Kane for the Paymundo.com organisation, who, once they'd recovered from that start line melee, had a bit of a job to fight their way through, because the lap speeds here are just so quick at Silverstone. It is difficult to pass. Everybody is flat out. They hit 150 miles an hour plus on the run down towards the right-hander of Stowe. It is blisteringly fast, this circuit, and the lap record of 2:11.793. Oh, Hegarty and Neve, a second retirement for them, so I don't know what's going on in the garage there with the mechanical side of things, but this bike ain't finishing races. They need to get that sorted. Straight on, you can see the hand in the air. Clearly there is a major issue there. If it's oil related, they've done the sensible thing and got it off the racing line. If it's tyre related, well, we don't know, we can only speculate. Ian Guy and Dan Evanson doing a good job ahead of the Birchells on that charging 600. 6 laps gone on this fascinating race. And let's have a look then, just see where these guys are. Out the back they are, head down. This is a 1000cc Suzuki versus a Honda 600 CBR. Little bits of rubber flying off as well. These great fat Avon tyres doing a terrific job here, there's no doubt about that. You can see a lot of the rubber debris. We're late in the day here. There's been an awful lot of racing on this circuit, not least of all in the British Superbikes, where some of the Pirellis were experiencing difficulties, it's fair to say, on this abrasive Silverstone circuit. Oh, look at Birchall then, on the outside of Ian Guy. No strangers to each other, because Ian Guy, a veteran Grand Prix campaigner over many seasons, has raced a lot of races against Ben and Tom Birchall, and it would appear now that, giving away 400 cc's and a significant amount of horsepower, that it's pretty much honours even. Looking at the inside there, this is where Birchall gains on corner speed. That little 600 flicks through so majestically, and ahead he goes of Ian Guy, who will be cursing, shaking his head and biting his bottom lip under the visor, I can tell you. Good season they've had though, Guy and Dan Evanson, since teaming up. Looking strong. Peach then getting back in the hunt. He's got himself in the points, but there's nothing he can do. He is nearly a lap adrift. These boys are already on their final lap. The championship leaders, the championship winners designate, and the race leaders by a country mile. The gap currently something like 12 seconds they have over John Holden and Stuart Ramsey in second place. Coming up behind, a couple of tail-enders then. Stevens, that's Matt McLaurin and A.D. Hope, just moving respectfully out of the way. They probably made the exhaust system that's on Stevens' Kawasaki there. These guys, that's what they do. They make wonderfully pretty and effective exhaust systems. On the final lap then, Stevens and Charlwood on this massive 3.6 mile Silverstone circuit. This will be their 11th victory in the 2015 season if they bring this home, and they've only got a few hundred yards to do before the checkered flag, and it's looking mightily impressive, I can tell you. Ryan Charlwood has been flawless. What a good passenger this. Diminutive, I have to say, without being disrespectful. He's not the tallest guy in the world, but he uses his weight and his size to terrific advantage. Out the back they go then. Down towards the right-hander of Abbey, and then the left. 5th gear round here. 2nd gear for Village. Through they go, and then down for the very, very tight left-hander. They're at it now. 2nd, hooking 3rd, coming out of here. And then up the gearbox, 4th, get the head down. There's a bit of a straight here. Another left-hander of Brooklands ahead of them. They're at it now. Out goes Charlwood. This is the victory lap, if you like. It's the final lap, but it's the victory lap because you are looking at the 2015 champions. It'll be a done deal when they get to Brands. The double points will be academic as far as they're concerned. A wave of the hand into Luffield and the stadium area. And then the last big right-hander of Woodcote, and the start finish straight ahead of them, the checkered flag, and there you have it. Race winners and champions Stevens and Charlwood, they know they've done it. Good for Assured Office Solutions, Be Wiser Kawasaki, the solo part of that team having folded, but the Sidecar boys have delivered the goods all season. Runner-up, a career best for John Holden and Stuart Ramsey. Absolutely fantastic, and I think that says it all. Mrs. Stevens, is she pleased or what? There you have it then. 22 minutes of racing, and we have the 2015 Hyundai Heavy Industries British Sidecar Champions, Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood. 14.6 seconds the gap they had over Holden. Lovelock kept it going, good for him. Good to see the Marlborough man there in third ahead of Tony Brown and Lee Kane. Fifth, sensational for the Birchells on a 600. Further down the order, well, you can see the retirements. Hegarty, Reeves, Kirk, Hollard and Robertson. Andy Peach recovered with Charlie Richardson to 12th. And Cable there, 13th. Well, it's late in the day here, but it's been an absolutely enthralling weekend. We thought it might end like this, but we weren't quite sure how it would end. We've got new champions. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood will go to Brands Hatch with the title already in their hands. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels brilliant, Barry, and I can't wait to get the brand with no pressure, because the one thing Peachy done to me this year is put pressure on me. He rode absolutely superb throughout the whole series, and it was unfortunate in that race because it come together. I didn't quite see what happened, just got out of the way, really. And I do feel so sorry for him, but that's racing, and I've no doubt the battles are going to continue with me and him throughout other races and other championships, I hope. You know, brilliant though, but I'm really, really happy.
That incident all happened at the start because Tony Brown and Lee Kane had a good start, and Andy was neck and neck with them, and they got the Sidecar wheel arch pulled off.
Yeah, it was. We didn't see much of it. Well, fortunately, we kind of got a bad start, which worked in our favour, really. And so we was on the inside then going into there. Them two had the corner, and it just seemed like they just kind of collected one another. And you know, I looked round then to sort of see carnage, and like I said to Larry, I thought it was going to be a red flag because it just seemed like all hell could break loose by then. So I'm thankful that they're both all right, and you know, hopefully machines all right, and we live to race, you know, and get on with it at Brands Hatch.
There it is then, champions, 355 points and 11 victories. Impressive or what? Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson, best wishes to Kershaw and Wilson. Brown and Kane then recovering. Lovelock and Alto, damage limitation for them ahead of Ben Holland and Lee Watson, who haven't really shone this year, it's fair to say. But looking further down the order, I'm surprised, given his runner-up spot, that John Holden and Stuart Ramsey are that far down, but wait for them in 2016. They'll be back. Well, there you can see it. They can't be beaten. They are the new champions. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. They're going to go to Brands Hatch in 2 weeks' time with absolutely no pressure. It's been a brilliant 2015 season, but we still have those 2 more races to go, but we do have our new champions. Thanks for watching. From all of us at Silverstone, bye-bye.